It's been 2 months since All Out, and in that time, a whole lot occurred. CM Punk cut the promo from hell on the media conference, a promo that brought a backstage brawl and the suspension of the 5 of the biggest wrestlers in the company, and due to this, the product suffered. My interest in AEW slowly dwindled. It lacked a spark and didn't really have somebody must-watch barring MJF. I personally don't like the ROH inclusion. It feels forced, and it's like, hey, we got this little thing over here. Obviously, they have their reasons for it. They need a TV deal. That's why Chris Jericho's champion. That's why they're doing all of this. I don't really care for it much. In the midst of this, though, there was some great talent, and Full Gear seemed like the time to get things right. So right now, let's get into it. Decent action on 0 Hour. Best friends Orange, Chuck, and Trent. Rocky Romero and Danhausen beat the Factory. Ricky Starks punched his ticket to the final of the World Title Eliminator Tournament by beating Brian Cage. And the match of the pre-show was Eddie Kingston and Jun Akiyama. Eddie's facing off his heroes and having fun. He won in the process. I do think he should do a bit more, but whatever. The first match on the show was a steel cage match. Luchasaurus faced his old friend, Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy's been embroiled in a feud with Christian Cage. I think it was going really well, but Christian suffered an injury. And for Jack Perry, this was a very standout performance. He looked like the ultimate babyface against a monster. He endured hell, was busted open, but he still had that fury in him to turn things around and win it all in spite of Christian and his dubious tactics. Amazing performance from Jungle Boy. His stock is certainly increasing, and if they have the Christian match eventually, it's only going to get better. I could easily see him be a challenger for MJF in the near future. The next match was for the AEW World Trios Tag Team Championships. Death Triangle defended the gold against the returning Elite. The Elite are back and, I guess, better than ever. The thing is, everyone knew this was going to go hard, but the result, I don't know what many people thought, but I thought it was obvious. Did it matter? No. Kenny looked extremely healthy. The break itself was probably for the best, and there was an incredible atmosphere here. The fans started chanting CM Punk. Like, damn, they hated him that much. Kenny and Pac Wrestling gave me early AEW vibes, from the first year. The action was superb, it was cracked up, and I expected a video game-esque spot fest, and that's exactly what it was. I didn't expect them to work on a hold or whatever. They were just gonna jump around all over the place, and that's what it was. I think I liked this one more than the Full Gear Trios tag team match. The athleticism was off the charts. It felt like they were trying to take the show away from everyone else, and it was for the best that they had this match go on second, because if they did it later, the fans would have been tired. The result had long-term implications as Pac wanted to bring in a hammer to cheat to win, He really wanted to steal this one, but Ray Fenix refused to win it like that. But when it came down to it, though, it was desperate times call for desperate measures, and with that, Death Triangle shockingly retained the titles. Probably match of the night. I had something else in mind, though, but it was a superb return for the Elite, and they know that they have to do something with them quickly, so a best-of-7 series was booked. So now they're going to be wrestling all over the place. Kenny Omega's going to Japan to face Will Ospreay, which is probably Dave Meltzer's dream match. Things are high for the Elite. The next match was for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill defends the gold against the title thief, Nyla Rose. This story has been Jade complaining about her title being stolen for like a month and a half. Vicky was brought out on a lowrider honoring Eddie Guerrero, who passed away in November of 2005 on this week. And the match itself was very average. There's not much about it. And we said this about Jade's match at All Out beforehand, and it's the same here. It wasn't anything notable. Jade retained the title as expected and is now 42-0, and who ends her title reign? I don't know, but one thing for sure is that this match was probably the weakest on the show. The next match was for the ROH World Championship. Chris Jericho defended the gold against Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, and Sammy Guevara. Man, I'm still thinking about the excitement I had watching this match. Because Chris Jericho had multiple title defenses, the results could have gone any way. Even Sammy Guevara could have won the title. Each guy played their part well. Sammy, despite being absolutely hated for the past few months, has started to turn up recently. It's crazy that he found his old form again, and if you would have told me this a month ago, I wouldn't believe it. It's looking much better than previously. Bryan and Claudio were so damn vicious with their offense, but the man of the match, I can't believe I'm saying it, Sammy Guevara. It's Sammy Guevara. They had me convinced with the GTH and the Shooting Star. I thought the title was on him at that point. But after that, it shifted to Bryan Danielson. I thought he was a guy. This was a match for a new champion, but surprisingly or not, Chris Jericho retained the title. Watching this live brought a wide range of emotions. It was what a fatal four-way was all about, being unpredictable and dramatic. I didn't expect it to be that good, and for that, it's probably my favorite AEW match this year. It sounds crazy saying it, but that's how much I liked it. The next match was between Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and the returning Soraya. The last time Soraya wrestled was so long ago, December 2017. The expectation in this match wasn't much because Paige, or as she's called now, Soraya, hasn't wrestled in so long. The build was a bit blurry, there wasn't a set face or heel. Britt had valid reasons to go against Soraya, but this match was much better than the TBS title match. It wasn't out of this world as it was just there, but it's definitely a nice return for Soraya. She was going to be rusty, it's expected as day. She's been out for a while, and the adrenaline and emotion the matches bring out of a wrestler were certainly missed by her. Personally, I thought Britt would be victorious because of how she has to protect AEW from Soraya. Hell, I was rooting for her. but that wasn't to be. Where Soraya goes from here is anyone's guess. Wardlow defended the TNT Championship against Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe. This match caught me off guard. Why? Because I thought it was going to be Wardlow and Hobbs, but they added Samoa Joe. Compared to other matches on the show, it felt like a cool down. Wardlow for me was the star of the match, flying all over the place, but Joe winning was very, very, very surprising. Hobbs was built up for a couple of weeks and I thought it was his time, but it was Joe. Why would he be 2 titles, Joe, like Roman Reigns? I don't know, but it was certainly an odd decision. You know, he's not the same as his old self, and Hobbs winning here would have been fresh, would have been a new start. But I don't know what they were doing here. The next match was a tag team match between Darby Allin and Sting against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. What the hell? This sounds like some 2006 to 2009 TNA type stuff. I almost can't believe my world is being played in an AEW arena and it's set in last night. Like, seeing Jeff Jarrett in the arena was such a mind. This one was like any other Sting and Darby tag team match, which isn't bad because it's exactly what you want. Sting has found his place and it's real comfortable. Darby's natural position is getting lifted and thrown into oblivion, and this match solidified it. Sting and Darby should challenge for the titles because they're always winning, and I think it would be interesting. That said, I do wish Darby does move on up. We're kind of forgetting what he's truly capable of as a singles wrestler, because eventually this thing with Sting, as great as it is, it has to end eventually. The next match was for the AEW Interim Women's World Championship. Toni Storm defended the gold against her old friend, Jamie Hayter. Storm's run, in my opinion, dwarfed Thunder Rosa's. She comes out as a fighting champion, delivers good matches, and unlike Thunder's run, it felt like Toni was the woman to watch. This match was nothing short of incredible, and I've never seen a one-on-one women's match under normal circumstances deliver like this in AEW. Easily my favorite women's AEW match. It was slowly building and heading into I didn't think Toni Storm would lose. The match was rough and physical. It's what everyone hoped it would be. But then the interferences kicked things up a notch, and Toni Storm looked like she was 99 overall. She was kicking out of everything thrown her way. And then in a surprise turn of events, Jamie Hayter hit the Haterade to become the new champion. Tremendous match. It was so damn good. The problem I have with it, though, is the interim thing. Toni Storm's reign technically doesn't count. Thunder Rosa's gone for so long, and I don't like the interim thing. It's just... and I dislike the concept. I don't think it sounds right in wrestling. You try to legitimize it, it's a sport, whatever. But I don't know. I just don't like that idea in itself. But it was a huge moment for Jamie Hayter. Very, very surprising. And that's the show in general. The next match was for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Acclaimed defended the gold against Swerve in Our Glory. Their match at All Out was going to be tough to top. But here, the teams did a decent job. But the story was mainly and mostly about Swerve and Keith Lee's relationship. Swerve's a straight up heel. And he wasn't hiding it. Keith Lee was like, nope. Because of this, he got slapped. So he walked away leading to the Acclaim, retaining the titles. Decent. Heel Swerve is going to go all out, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see him be one of the next to hold the most coveted gold. The tag team was nice, but there's really a higher ceiling for Swerve Strickland. I've said it ever since he debuted, but he's one of their top guys waiting to happen. AEW needs new guys at the top. They have MJF now, and Swerve would be a great addition in the future. And the main events. Jon Moxley defends the AEW World Heavyweight Championship against MJF. This story is like John Cena in 2007. It's number one, and whatever comes second in AEW is so far down below. MJF is essentially a babyface. He wants to prove himself right by being Mox clean and showing that he's capable of being number one. He received a tremendous reaction from the fans here, whereas Mox was booed a bit. It's crazy to think, but they were booing him. New champ chants were loud and clear, and it was good. Good match. Mox worked as the heel, which is insane, especially against MJF of all people, because this guy's considered the devil, yet he's being cheered. He was working from under to try and battle back against the champion, but when it came down to it, MJF contemplated using the diamond ring. Regal threatened him, saying not to use it. He listened and tapped out, but the referee didn't notice. So what did he do? He passed him the knucks and boom. 1, 2, 3. New champion. William Regal is a true believer of Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I guess he was testing him, seeing if he was going to use the diamond ring, and doing that meant he upgraded to the brass knuckles. MJF is new champion, and was it going to end any other way? It wasn't. We all knew he was going to cheat to win one way or another, whether it be the Firm or William Regal. He was going to cheat to win, and that's what happened here. It's well deserved. He's the hottest wrestler in all Elite Wrestling. Not Mox, not the Elite, but the guy that cheats and belittles every city. And at 26 years old, he's champion. If you guys saw his post-match interview, he's all complaining this and that. This guy's really going to go all out and trying to give us a title reign that's different to any other title reign in AEW. MJF doesn't need a manager, but the dynamics of him and William Regal is too hard to ignore. It makes sense why William Regal wants to associate with him. I mean, this guy was as dastardly and intelligent as he was back in the day. And if you thought the title victory was good, his promo at the media conference was even better. He built up the title as the biggest thing ever. MJF was limping all over the place, and the man had everyone convinced that he was the best wrestler in the world. He said that he was going to take a shower and get rid of Mox's hepatitis A through Z, which was hilarious as hell. Then he ended the statement saying, "Thank you, fuck you, Bye. Awesome. So that's Full Gear. Man, this is one of my favorite AEW pay-per-views of all time. Easily. Way better than Double or Nothing. Better than Revolution, I'd say. I just enjoyed it because of how unexpectedly good it was. Like, we knew we were going to have a decent show, this and that. But well, I wasn't hyped, I wasn't hyped for the show. There was only one match I cared about mostly, and that was the main event. But he did it. They did it again. They turned up when it mattered most. And in doing so, this was one of the best pay-per-views. This is probably my top 3 favorite AEW pay-per-views ever since I started watching. Match of that night is probably, well, for me, this is for me. I know you guys are going to say the Elite, but for me, it was that Fatal 4-Way ROH Championship match. That was a match I didn't really think much of. I was like, oh, it's going to be good, this and that. But man, the emotion, the action, the drama, everything that come out of it was so exciting. And that's why it's my favorite match from the show. It was just that damn good. It seems like AEW is heading towards a new chapter in the company's history. I hope it's a new chapter. I hope things feel different in multiple ways, because I feel like we had enough of this weird arc right now. Throughout the summer, it was odd, this and that. This is a show where they could start moving things in the right direction, and by the looks of it, it probably is, because MJF's champion. Alright, what you guys think of Full Gear? Please comment down below, and that's the first video. Make sure you hit the haterade on the like button, and perhaps the paradigm shift on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.